Now to education matters. The federal government, through the Federal Ministry of Education on Tuesday, announced the suspension of accreditation of degree certificates from Benin Republic and Togo. Now, according to the government, the suspension persists pending the outcome of an investigation involving the Ministries of Foreign Affairs and Education of Nigeria and the two countries, as well as the Department of State Security Services and the National Youth Service Corps. News Central's Omolola Ololade tells us more in this report.
The Federal Ministry of Education has continued to contend with the problem of illegal institutions located abroad or at home, preying on unsuspecting, innocent Nigerians and some desperate Nigerians who deliberately patronize such outlets, including tertiary institutions. The recent announcement about the suspension of evaluation and accreditation of degree certificate from Benin and Togo republics has sparked conversations among Nigerians, particularly educationists.
It's one thing to have a certificate to exist as a university. It's another thing to be fully, accredited to run such programs. So any university that is awarding degrees in programs that are not accredited should also immediately be sanctioned.
Licensing from the international university that are coming in to set up centers in Nigeria must be followed with due processes. Government should make deterrents those that are culpable of this crime, and also students that have certificate from such university should not be recognized.
This is not the first time a conversation about unaccredited courses and forged certificates from Benin is trending. In 2021, some Nigerian students studying at one of the popular tertiary institutions in Benin Republic were at loggerheads with the school authority over certificates being awarded by the institution. A development, they said, has hindered them from being gainfully employed in some Nigerian firms. While all effort to reach one of these universities proved abortive, the All Africa Student Union blamed the Nigerian education sector, saying that Nigerian students would not have traveled abroad in search of quality education, let alone become victims of these tertiary institutions if the country had provided quality education and a conducive environment for learning.
I don't think it should divert our attention from the crux of the matter that generally Nigerian education system needs attention. I want to pursue Benin Republic that has a population of maybe 100,000 Nigerian students. He's not going to do that. We have a lot of problems that for you to say you are prescribing, you're stopping the accreditation of those schools doesn't solve the problem. Rather, it multiplies the problems thereof.
The Ministry of Education, through the statement, called on Nigerians to cooperate with the committee and provide useful information that will assist in finding lasting solutions to the menace of Nigerians obtaining half-baked certificates from foreign universities, as the suspension persists pending the outcome of an investigation involving the Ministries of Foreign Affairs and Education of Nigeria and the two countries. In Lagos, for News Central, Omolola Ololade.
Now, to further discuss this, I'm now joined by Professor Idowu Olayinka. He's the immediate past Vice Chancellor, University of Ibadan. Thank you so much, Professor Olayinka, for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
My pleasure. To start with, Prof, do you think that this ban is justified?
I think it's long overdue. The ban by the Federal Ministry of Education. I think it's long overdue from what we have read from the correspondence of Daily Nigerian. I think the ban is long overdue.
Right. And would you say that there are any potentially unintended consequences of this ban going forward?
Well, it's not impossible when, that the Federal Ministry of Education is clamping down on those mushroom degree mill institutions in Benin Republic and Togo. But the truth of the matter is we should not allow whatever happens in those places to contaminate our system. So I think it's really very commendable that the Federal Ministry of Education had to take that decisive action. I mean, if education will still go on, and then they will make their reports known. But I think, there is this saying by an American politician that if you see a snake, you should kill it. You don't have to set up a committee on snakes. And I think it's bad enough that the Federal Ministry of Education was compelled to take that drastic action. I think what is left for us is to support the government in this particular decision while we await the report of their investigative panel.
Looking at what's happened, Prof, how do you think that this portrays the education sector in Nigeria to the outside world, especially potential partners and those who are ready to invest in the education sector in the country? Do you think that this portrays us in a positive or a negative light?
Well, I think it depends on the way you look at it. The truth of the matter is when students come into the university, they're supposed to spend a specified period of time to earn a degree. The truth of the matter is many of these candidates that attended these universities Togo in Benin Republic, maybe they didn't even have the minimum matriculation requirements. Like here, maybe students or candidates should have had 5 credits in a West African school certificate or in NECO, including English, mathematics, then depending on the particular course of study. But it's not unlikely that these degree mill institutions never bothered about those, since it's a matter of cash and carry. And when students even come, I mean, you have to look at it as input, process, and output. You want a degree in economics. Maybe ordinarily it takes 4 years. The curriculum has to be designed, and what students have to go through, the faculty, the carrying capacity, and all that. Some of them, they have to do industrial training. But when you read the reports from the Daily Nigerian, that this guy, an undercover journalist, it's like he got the degree without even crossing the border. And it's not so much as if he was doing distance learning. So I think it's a huge joke that the federal government cannot treat with levity. That's why someone like my humble self, I think the action taken by the government is really the best in the circumstance. I mean, we have about 52 federal universities, maybe another 62 state universities, private universities, you can't even count them. There are polytechnic, there are colleges of education. I mean, it's logical. A 17 or 18-year-old, they want to acquire university education or tertiary education, as the case may be, but they should go through the rigor, meet the minimum entry requirements, then go through the process, or you can even attend the open university if you don't have the opportunity to go to the regular higher institution, the brick and mortar. But for people to just sit down at home and it's possible for them to earn a degree somewhere, I don't think it's possible. And you find out that the National Universities Commission has been there for about 60 years. So the Nigerian university system, in spite of all our problems, is probably the most comprehensive in sub-Saharan Africa. So it borders on ignorance for people to now be looking for cheap degrees in a French-speaking country where they at least speak good English. And to even make matters worse, they just sit in the comfort of their homes, pay the necessary fees, and they earn a so-called university degree. And I think for us as a country, we should not tolerate that. And that's why, like I said a little while ago, that the immediate action taken by the Federal Ministry of Education, I think, is highly commendable. While the investigation will go on, I mean, it's unbelievable that people can just sit in the comfort of their homes and they purportedly will have found a university degree. I mean, it's totally unacceptable. Wherever it is coming from, I think we should not encourage it. So we need to support and rally around the Federal Ministry of Education in this mess that we found ourselves. And we understand that it has been going on for a very long time. But at times things have to go worse before they start getting better. So I'm sure they will sort out the good from the ugly. And the report will be made known, and then we can move forward as a nation. Right. I mean, in terms of these degree mills.
Okay, Prof, now the future of higher education in Nigeria is uncertain, but these measures could be a step in the right direction, just like we've discussed, especially towards improving the quality and the integrity of a sector. Now, in terms of your projections for the future, from your own perspective, what are your hopes for the future of higher education in Nigeria, or education generally?
Well, but I think the future of education in Nigeria is very bright. There will always be challenges. Most of us who are in the university right now, we are also product of the Nigerian university system. At times we talk of falling quality, that the education standard is falling. I mean, well, the question is who set the standard? It may be the problem with educators, those who are training them. Of course, the Nigerian university system, especially the public universities, we've had issues with strike as a result of a disagreement between the staff unions and the proprietors, in this case, the federal government. And maybe over the last 30, 40 years, we've lost about 5 academic sessions to strike. And so, I mean, the wastage is unquantifiable. But we are still trying our best, and the students, they learn under very difficult conditions. But by and large, because of the system that we have, I think the future is very bright. There's always room for improvement. Students still finish from Ibadan, they finish from Ile-Ife, they finish from University of Lagos, and they go abroad to Australia, to Canada, and all other countries in the West, and they do very well. So couldn't have been because our system was not good enough. Like my uncle self, I finished from University of Ibadan, my first degree. I know that was how many years ago now, about 42 or thereabouts. The curriculum that the students go through now is far more comprehensive than what I passed through here as an undergraduate. So it may not be fair to the current set of students to think the quality has dropped. I never saw a computer as an undergraduate, but things have since changed. So if students are able to go through our system the way it has been designed, they have met the entry requirements, they pass through the curriculum, they are, they do all their courses, the curriculum, the entire gamut of it, and they are certified fit for purpose. Then we think they can compete with their peers from other parts of the world. So it would not be fair to think that the Nigerian university system is, the standard is falling. Again, there is room for improvement. We need more resources.
All right.
And maybe the staff also need to be better paid and things like that. And the students also need to study under a more conducive environment. That's just my personal humble opinion.
Okay, Professor Idowu Olayinka, the immediate past Vice Chancellor, University of Ibadan. Thank you so much for joining us and discussing the education sector with us on the news.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Many thanks for inviting me.